And welcome everyone to the very first Riverside County Board Brief of 2022. My name is Pep Fernandez, and our very first Board of Supervisors meeting today, which also means a new chair for the new year, and it is Supervisor Jeff Hewitt from District Number 5. And Supervisor Hewitt, first meeting with this, behind the steering wheel of the Board of Supervisors meeting to say. How do you feel like it went today?
Well, I think we got the job of the people done, and the work of the people of the county. We had a very, very long and passionate land use issue that came up, and we got a lot of people through, a couple hours of testimony, and I thought it came out well. The main thing is to hear both sides and then to rule on it and get it done.
Are you looking forward to serving the public in this capacity as the chair as you navigate these meetings for us?
Yes, I've been a mayor for 3 years. I've been a chair of a planning commission before. Running the meetings as such is to me is an honor, and I look forward to doing it for this year. And I got a great team up there. I mean, my colleagues have shown me a lot. I've been watching them for 3 years. So, again, they've come through some very tough times with COVID and such. So, hopefully we'll have a little bit smoother sailing on all the exterior factors.
Yeah, I was going to say 2022 feels a lot like 2021, at least the start of it, but hopefully things will change. Supervisor Hewitt, I know you have to run off to another meeting, so we're going to let you go, but we do appreciate the time, and hopefully we'll see you quite a bit more here on the board brief.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is Supervisor Jeff Hewitt, the new chair of the Riverside County Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Supervisor, for the time. During today's Board of Supervisors meeting, again, the first one of 2022, we had a COVID-19 update. Let's take a look at some video from earlier today as we had Kim Saruwatari, the Director for Riverside County Public Health, joining us in the chambers along with Bruce Barton, the Director of the Emergency Management Department, giving us an update on the latest numbers here in Riverside County. The hospitalizations, the positivity rate, the case rate, all those things that we've been talking about over the course of the last, 2 years now, basically, here in Riverside County. Here's a little bit more with Kim as well as Bruce as they try to make sense of the numbers for not only us, but the board as well and all of you out there.
So we are doing a big push around boosters because we do know, particularly with the Omicron variant, that having that booster dose is very protective and lessens the chance of having severe disease. This is just a graphical representation basically of what I just talked about. On the top graph, you can see the blue line is our hospitalizations, so that number has increased. The gray line are our ICU admits, and that number, while increasing, is increasing at a slower rate. And again, Bruce will talk about that more. Luckily, our death data has not increased the way we have seen our case data increase. We are hopeful that that trend will continue.
As of yesterday, we had 139 COVID positive in the ICU. That's about a 48% increase in the last 10 days. And we did also crescendo with ICU COVID positive last year on the 10th of January at 375. Of the folks that are in the ICU, 59% of those patients are on ventilators, and our overall ventilator utilization with the resources that we have on hand is about 33%. So that's good news and very much different from some of the previous surges that we have seen.
Into the chambers and give us an update on what's the latest on COVID-19 here in Riverside County. And again, the trend with the numbers going up, but as you heard from Kim and Bruce, the numbers still significantly down compared to last year, but still keeping an eye out on it here in Riverside County. Now let's go to another piece of video from earlier today during the meeting. That was the emergency medical services, if we can go to that. And we had a number of different agencies, countywide, citywide, of emergency medical providers. And if you've noticed, there is a short staffing across the board for these providers, and they provide such crucial services, specifically transporting folks who are not feeling doing too well by ambulance to a hospital, and there's a delay in the offloading time to get those ambulances back in circulation, and again, assisting the public as much as they can. We had Chief Bill Weiser from the Riverside County Fire Department, Bruce Barton, among others, speaking in front of the board, stressing how important it is to get some much needed help and form a committee to make sure that these emergency service providers have the necessary resources and staffing to make sure that everyone out there is getting the coverage and and being provided for as they need to. Here is a little bit from earlier today during the board meeting from Chief Bill Weiser.
There's a lot of times where you send a paramedic along with the ambulance, or you're going along there themselves. Can you get into that a little bit more too, on the specifics? How on each EMS call, they can be totally different, unique, on the way that you staff them on any, emergency incident?
So for the most part, in the county of Riverside, we run a two-tiered system with both paramedics on the fire engine and on the ambulance.
Right.
However, during this surge, we've had to rely on BLS ambulances with the strong support of the paramedic first response. So we are running a safe system right now. The delays on the ambulance side, though, are out of control.
And you've got to keep somebody there, that paramedic there, as long as, until they can offload and get going again.
Supervisor, I've worked in this county for 35 years, and in the last 2 weeks, there are times my engine companies are responding with no ambulance responding with them to medical aids. This has become a serious thing. Our engine companies sit on delay for over 2 hours waiting for an ambulance to come to scene. This needs real attention.
And again, that was Chief Bill Weiser from Riverside County Fire, amongst many others here in the chambers, relaying and echoing that message that they do need help, they need staffing, they need resources to make sure there's enough service providers out there, those ambulances providing such that crucial service, transporting folks to the hospital if they need it. And the final thing here on the Riverside County Board brief, it was National Human Trafficking Day. It's also National Human Trafficking Month. Let's take a look at some video from earlier today. We had many folks, again, from the emergency medical services arena, and also a lot from this task force providing, again, a much needed service for vulnerable children and adults too. They pointed out that adults can be affected by this as well. So kids, adults, anyone who may fall into human trafficking, they want to bring awareness and they want to bring help to those who may need it. Here's a little bit more from earlier today.
We're observing today is it's National Human Trafficking Month, and this isn't something that goes on 1 month out of the year. This is something that goes on all the time. It takes away dignity from people. It is the very bad side of humanity, and we've got a whole lot of champions up here who are working so hard to make sure everybody has a chance to grow up, to thrive, to obey the law and do all these other things.
This is amazing what has happened in Riverside County. So it's total commitment by Riverside County to combat human trafficking. It's a serious matter in Riverside County, and we're so fortunate to have a district attorney, a sheriff, a board of supervisors that supports the activity that all of you do. You do the hard work. And this is, young kids who get sucked in on the internet and maybe meet a gang guy, or maybe a foster kid that runs away, or maybe it's, a homeless kid that gets taken advantage of, or even adults.
All right, so again, that is our first board brief of 2022. As again, after each and every Riverside County Board of Supervisors meeting, we'll bring you the very latest of what happened during that meeting and what's going on in Riverside County. So make sure you follow along each and every Tuesday after the Board of Supervisors meeting. I'm Pep Fernandez, and we'll see you next time with another board brief brought to you by the County of Riverside.